Welcome back. You're with us here on Opening Fire. Markets are down but not completely out. There's about a 70-80 point cut on the Nifty, 75 to be precise. So 80-94 is where we are. Now, one sector which has, of course, done extremely well in the stock markets is microfinance. We've seen what's happened with stocks like SKS. We've seen what's happened with Ujjivan. Even stocks like Equitas Holdings, which are partly microfinance, have done extremely well in the market. Now, add one more to the list. Satin Creditcare is a company which started as an NBFC in the 1990s and started the microfinance business in 2008, if I'm not mistaken. It's been listed in the regional stock exchanges for a while, but it made it's listing in the NSE on the NSE only in 2015. The stock saw a big jump on Friday. It's up another 4.5% right now at about 437 or so. Mr. H.P. Singh is CMD at the company, and he joins us on a phone line from Delhi. Mr. Singh, it's a pleasure. Good morning. Great to have you here. Prashant this side. So I have your, the investor presentation as of the end of May 2016. But if you could just run us through a little bit in terms of profile for the company for our viewers, sir. I did preface my introduction to you with some commentary about the company, but a little bit from you would help. Go on, sir.
So we were born in 1990, so we are about 25 years old. Doing microfinance since the day we were born, but not really been recognized or not really been baptized as a microfinance player, because at that point of time, I think microfinance was not technically the coinage word for that. So we were doing individual lending for small, little tiny businesses since our advent in 1990. But for us, the real baptism came in 2008 when we moved into the rural space of doing microfinance through the group model, and where we funded women across starting with Uttar Pradesh from there on. And that is where our advent of real baptism or the real baptism of microfinance came into being as such. So for us, we were about 25 years old.
Yeah. Well, why do you say that the baptism came in 2008, sir? I mean, why do you describe it like that?
Because for us, the group model actually was really the mainstay of microfinance in India. And we had done individual lending across for the last 18 years when we actually started our group model in 2008. And this is now where actually I think all the microfinance industry people are actually moving on to, and now switching over to the individual lending model. So the group model has been the mainstay, and which we started in 2008 from Uttar Pradesh.
Okay. But now, in terms of almost the entire book for Satin is microfinance, and it's mostly all group lending now?
Yes, it's all group lending now. With only about a 1%, which is the individual lending model, which we still persist with for the last 25 years. But 99% is all the group model.
Right. And you registered as a microfinance entity now, right?
Yeah, we are registered as an NBFC MFI with RBI.
Sure. Now, so you're basically a North India-based player, although you have presence in 16 states.
Yes, we are present in 16 states, but our major portfolio is in the north, with UP taking the major concentration of about 40% of our total AUM of about 3270 crores. So UP consists as our major market. Then going down to the other states which contribute significantly to the portfolio, being Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, and Punjab. In this, out of the 16 states, these 4 states constitute close to about 80% of our portfolio, and rest of the states are now coming up slowly and steadily as we go deeper into the other states moving ahead.
So UP, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Punjab, these 4 states are about 80% of your total book, right?
Yes.
That's what you're saying?
Yes.
Right. How would you describe the market? I mean, these markets, we've got players listed. And we've, Andhra-based players, South-based players, all India as well. But these markets specifically, UP, Bihar, MP, etc. How would you describe these markets in terms of credit culture, etc.?
So the markets have been, they were not penetrated earlier because all the microfinance activity was there in the south when it started from there. So we were the first players who moved into the northern territories as such. And these have been very underpenetrated markets for microfinance. And from the time when we started actually lending into these markets as such, there have been players who have come in, but we hold the largest market share in these markets where we operate in. And this is due to the fact that it has probably been the most underpenetrated geographies in the microfinance space. And we've probably set up our first forays into these markets. Like if you talk of UP, we were the first one actually to enter in, and we have about a 24% market share of the UP market with us. And Punjab, for sense, was devoid of any microfinance typically, and when we started it, and we've taken steps into the Punjab market as such.
Sir, since financial year 13, over a 4-year period leading up to financial year 16, the latest number that you said, 3,270 crores AUM. 4 years, your AUM is up 5 times. Could you talk to us about, this is normal kind of growth? What are we seeing essentially? Or this is complete non-penetration and you going in and adding on a lot of easy customers because of no penetration and no competition?
Exactly. I think not eating into, but adding into, that's the right word, So for us, since the time when we entered UP's percentage was practically negligible in 2008 when we entered the market. So for us, it has actually been, not actually, but adding on to the share where the penetration levels were very, very negligible in these states. And that's the reason why we've had a compounded annual growth of about 70 to 80% over the last 5 years. And this, in times of now, also has still a lesser penetration in terms of their penetration amongst the other geographies. If you look at UP, still has a penetration level of about 10 to 12%, as compared to the southern states of Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, which have about 30 to 40% level of penetration. So that is one of the prime reasons that we've been able to grow at such a rate, in these states.
How do you calculate, say, penetration levels? Say you're saying UP is 10 to 12%. How do you come to that?
So penetration level is based upon the number of households which you have and the number of borrowers which you actually, you are serving. In that basis, you are able to calculate in that if UP has a population of about 22 crores, that means, if you divide it by 4, then you have a household level of an X number. So the number of borrowers which you actually service will become the level of penetration which is over there.
No, shouldn't one look at the non-banked part of the population in any state and then calculate these numbers?
So basically I'm just going by a ballpark figure of that if you take even 10% out households, technically who would not lead microfinance to look at them, it still is basically a large number which will actually get into.
No, you're saying if you take out 10%.
Even if you take out 10% of the top level, the households which will definitely would not require microfinance to this space, then it still work out to be a penetrated number which is far less.
No, sorry, I'm just trying to, sorry to push on, but why 10% shouldn't it be much larger? So you look at banking penetration, you take that out, and then look at the microfinance bit, right? Because by nature you're taking in a way larger risk, so the rate of interest that you charge is also a lot higher compared to what a bank would charge, right? So people who have access to bank credit would not borrow from a microfinance entity.
Bank credit definitely doesn't reach the echelons where bottom of the pyramid is there. But if you look at it, 70% is probably what you look at. So 10% I'm taking at the echelons where I think probably the higher the highest technically the missing the middle or the top level will not require microfinance. But microfinance is up till about 100,000 rupees right now. So I think, if 10, 20%, even still by those numbers, I don't have the exact matrix to work on it, but still the levels which shows as penetration according to the survey done by even our association, gives us out these figures,
Sure. So, this is then a relatively newer model in these states, northern states, right? Bihar, UP, etc., compared to South, where you said penetration levels are 30 to 40%. Is the credit culture also different compared to what we've seen in this down south over the years?
I don't think so. Credit culture is any different from from down south. Technically, if you look at it, it's basically the geography and the cultural difference, which really you will have to navigate and move across and then do your this thing over there. But at the bottom of the pyramid, the credit culture and the model which actually sets in of the joint liability definitely has that strength where credit culture is probably amongst the best if you look at the lending portfolio amongst any kind of a retail lending which has to be done. Because the group model actually gives us a lot of collateral for people to actually, and with the advent of credit bureaus which have come in, I think it has all the more reasons that the credit culture is getting, I think, probably the similar all across all these states. So the credit culture has absolutely been the same, across if you look at all the territories, if you really look at.
Sure. What about your growth now, sir, from here? Your presentation says, your AUM has grown 78% CAGR over the last 4 years. What should we expect now from 3,200 crores as of the end of financial year 16? What will the number be in 17, 18? Just talk to us a little bit about that.
So we've given our guidance for the next year, which is close to about 60% growth on our AUM, with a guidance also on the profit for about 75%. If you look at the market, the penetration levels which I've talked about, definitely yes. I think for us the next few years, we will have that advantage of actually penetrating deep into the territories where we are working in, and the same kind of growth would probably be there for at least for the next few years, as long as it reaches a level where I think a fair amount of penetration has already been done. So my sense is it's approximately the same kind of a growth which is going to happen across the next few years.
In the markets, so these 4 states that you listed out, 80% of your share, of your book, which are you are the number one player, right, Mr. Singh?
Yes, in these 4 markets we definitely are. But we've picked up the other states also, which again have lower levels of penetration, like Rajasthan. We picked up Jharkhand now, where we are going to move in, Maharashtra. So all these other states will have more penetration levels from our side as we grow up in the next few years from moving ahead.
Yeah, sure. So which are the number 1, number 2, number 3 players in these markets?
We have, definitely SKS also over there where we work in. We have other institutions like Utkarsh, which is again a north-based institution, which is there in these areas.
So SKS and Utkarsh.
Yeah.
Sure. Got it. And you said that you expect AUMs to grow 60% in 17, and you expect net profits to grow 75%.
That's the guidance which is given for the next year, for this year, for FY17.
Where do you borrow from? I mean, which are the major sources of borrowing, and at what rates do you borrow?
So for us, we are borrowing from financial institutions like banks which include the public sector banks, the private banks, and the foreign banks. And other financial institutions could be larger NBFCs, then institutions which are there across the world who have their charter to do microfinance. So we borrow from them. We've done ECBs. We've done NCDs, non-convertible debentures from different financial institutions. So our main borrowing is from there. Our average cost of funds, which is close to about 14.5%, is what we borrow on.
And what do you lend at?
About 24.5%. The RBI says a margin cap of about 10% as per the RBI guidelines.
Okay, average rate of lending is, you said 24%?
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. We'll leave it there. Thank you for your time, Mr. Singh. Appreciate you joining in, and hope to catch up with you sometime in the studio when you're here. Thank you indeed, and good luck going forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
So that is Satin Credit Care the largest microfinance player in the northern part of the country. UP, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Punjab. These are the 4 states which make up about 80% of their 3,200, almost 3,300 crore book. And they expect that to grow by 60% in financial year 17 this year. We'll take another quick break here. We are coming back in 2 minutes. We've got the